That night, everything changed. At 2:17 a.m., Elias noticed something strange. A streak of light cut across the sky, not like a meteor, not like any satellite he had ever logged. It moved erratically, as if correcting itself mid-flight. "That's not natural," he whispered, fingers flying across his console. The object slowed, then stopped. Completely. Elias leaned closer to the monitor, heart pounding. No way. The light pulsed once, twice, then shot downward. Toward the desert. Toward him. Within minutes, Elias was outside, racing across the sand in his aging Jeep. The coordinates he'd calculated led him just a few miles from the observatory. The desert was eerily silent, the wind holding its breath. Then he saw it. A faint glow nestled between jagged rocks. He approached cautiously, grabbing a flashlight. But as he drew closer, he realized he didn't need it. The light wasn't harsh. It was soft, almost alive. And then he saw her. She was lying beside the wreckage, a sleek, metallic structure half buried in sand. It didn't look like any craft built by human hands. Smooth curves, no visible seams, and a faint hum that vibrated in the air. The being looked human at first glance. But she wasn't. Her skin shimmered faintly, like starlight beneath glass. Her hair floated slightly, unaffected by gravity. And her eyes, when they opened, glowed with a pale silver light. Elias froze. She looked at him and spoke. "You're not supposed to be here." Her voice wasn't heard, it was felt. Inside his mind. Middle. Elias should have run. Every logical part of him screamed to turn around, to leave, to pretend this never happened. But curiosity had always been his strongest flaw and his greatest strength. I saw you fall," he said, his voice trembling. "Are you okay?" She tilted her head, studying him as if he were the alien. "I am damaged," she replied after a pause. "This form is unstable." Elias blinked. Form. Before she could answer, a sharp pulse of energy rippled from the crashed craft. The ground vibrated. The girl winced, clutching her side. Without thinking, Elias rushed forward. Hey, easy," he said, catching her as she stumbled. The moment their skin touched, everything changed. A flood of images crashed into his mind. Stars exploding, worlds forming, civilizations rising and falling in the blink of an eye. And her, always her, traveling between galaxies, watching, learning, alone. Elias gasped and pulled back, collapsing onto the sand. What was that? She looked at him with something new in her eyes. Recognition. "You saw," she said softly. "That should not be possible." "Yeah, well, neither should you," Elias shot back, trying to steady his breathing. For a moment, they simply stared at each other. Then she smiled. And it was the most human thing about her. Her name, as best Elias could understand it, was Lyra. Not a name in the human sense, but a sound, a frequency, a meaning that his brain translated into something familiar. She wasn't from a planet. She was from between them. A traveler of the cosmic web, a being whose kind existed beyond time as humans understood it. They observed the universe, guiding its balance, ensuring no single force disrupted the delicate equilibrium. At least they used to. "I am the last," Lyra told him one night, as they sat outside the observatory, staring at the sky. Weeks had passed since her arrival. Elias had hidden the crash site as best he could, moving parts of her craft and camouflaging the rest. The town remained unaware, though rumors of strange lights had begun to spread. "The last?" Elias asked. She nodded. "Something is hunting us. Something that does not belong to this universe." Elias swallowed. "That doesn't sound good." It is not. Over time, Lyra began to change. At first, she struggled to maintain her physical form. Her body would flicker, her voice would distort. But with Elias's help, food, shelter, and something else neither of them could quite explain, she stabilized. She started to feel, to laugh, to wonder. And Elias, he started to live again. They spent nights talking about everything: Earth, stars, humanity, existence. Lyra was fascinated by the smallest things: the taste of coffee, the sound of rain, the warmth of sunlight. "These are extraordinary," she said once, holding a cup in both hands. Elias chuckled. "It's just coffee." "No," she said, looking at him. "It is experience. Your world is full of it." And slowly something grew between them, something neither of them understood. But peace never lasts. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Lyra froze. Her eyes widened, glowing brighter than ever. "They found me." Elias stood up. "Who?" "The hunters." The sky darkened unnaturally fast. A low hum filled the air, deeper than anything Elias had ever heard. The ground trembled. The stars above flickered, as if something massive was moving behind them. Then it appeared, a tear in the sky. From it emerged a shape, vast, shifting, impossible to fully comprehend. It seemed to exist in multiple forms at once, its edges constantly dissolving and reforming. Elias felt his knees weaken. "What is that?" Lyra's voice was barely a whisper. "The end. Climax." "Elias, you need to go," Lyra said, stepping away from him. "No," he replied immediately. "I'm not leaving you. You cannot help me. Try me." The entity in the sky began to descend, warping the air around it. The temperature dropped. The world seemed to hold its breath. Lyra turned to him, her expression filled with something he had never seen before. "Fear. They consume energy. Entire stars, entire systems. My kind, we were the only ones who could resist them." "Were." She nodded. "And now I am alone." Elias clenched his fists. "Then you're not alone anymore." She shook her head. "You do not understand." "Then help me understand." For a moment, time seemed to pause. Then Lyra stepped forward and placed her hand on his chest. This time, the connection was deeper, stronger. Elias saw everything. The rise of Lyra's people, their war against the hunters, their fall, and the truth. They cannot be destroyed. Lyra's voice echoed in his mind. Only contained. Elias's eyes snapped open. "Then we contain it." Lyra stared at him. "With what?" He looked at her. "With you." Ending the plan was simple and impossible. Lyra would merge with the entity, become a living prison, trapping it within herself and sealing the tear in space. But it would cost her everything. Her form, her memories, her existence as she knew it. "You'll be gone," Elias said quietly. "Yes." "And there's no other way?" No. Silence fell between them. The sky roared above, the entity drawing closer. Elias stepped forward. "I'm not saying goodbye." Lyra tilted her head. "Why?" "Because I don't believe this is the end." For the first time, she looked uncertain. Elias smiled faintly. "You taught me something, remember? About experience. About connection." He took her hand. "And I think whatever you become, a part of you will still remember." Lyra studied him. Then slowly she smiled. "Elias Carter," she said softly, "you are extraordinary." Before he could respond, she pulled him into an embrace. And then she was gone. Light consumed the desert. The sky shattered. And then silence. Epilogue. Months passed. The town returned to normal. The rumors faded. The sky became just the sky again. Elias stayed. He rebuilt the observatory, continued his work, watched the stars. But something had changed. He wasn't alone anymore. Not really. Every night he felt it. A presence. Subtle, distant, but there. And sometimes, just sometimes, a single star would shine brighter than the rest, pulsing softly, like a heartbeat. Elias would smile. "I see you, Lyra." And in that moment, he would swear. The star pulsed back.